Wait, was it Tommy all along? Next week on EastEnders, Tommy Moon is accused of stalking Zoe as the search for her tormentor takes another twist. With Jean still under suspicion, all eyes turn to Tommy after some damning evidence turns up in his bag. But could he really be targeting his own sister? Meanwhile, Howie's backed into a corner and ends up proposing to Kim just as he hits a stalemate with Anthony, who's clearly hiding something. Next week's drama in Walford is going to be intense. Tommy's under suspicion when Zoe's stalker strikes again. As the Slaters get ready to say their goodbyes to Freddie and Anna, tensions are running high, especially with Jean still feeling out of step with the rest of the family. Lily can't help but worry that Jean is pushing herself too hard, and it's clear Kat is doing her best to keep Zoe calm, but the mood is fragile. You can just feel the strain in the air. Everyone's trying to hold it together, but the cracks are starting to show. Then, at the goodbye party, Elaine gives this really heartfelt speech about Freddie and Anna, and for a moment it almost lifts everyone, until the Christmas lights in the square flick on. That's when the mood takes a sharp turn, because suddenly there's this chilling message in the window of the Vic, and you just know it's going to stir up all kinds of chaos. Things get even messier later on when Zoe finds something in Tommy's bag and becomes convinced he's the one who's been tormenting her. Tommy insists he's innocent, but Zoe ain't having it, and the tension explodes upstairs as she lashes out at Kat, Alfie and Tommy. It's such a raw emotional moment. You can really feel her frustration and fear, and you can't help but wonder what this could mean for the family moving forward. Fans will definitely have something to say about this one, because it feels like everything is about to kick off in a big way. Zoe's being watched in EastEnders spoilers. Downstairs, things kick off again with Vicky, and tensions quickly spiral out of control. Zoe steps in, trying to keep the peace, but it's clear she's had enough. She ends up having to tell Vicky to leave. It's one of them moments where you can really feel Zoe's frustration boiling over, and you start to wonder how much more she can take before it all blows up. After that, she looks for some space and ends up at Anthony's, who offers her a safe place to stay. It's a quiet kind of support, but you can tell it means a lot to Zoe, especially with everything going on around her. The next day, Zoe and Lauren really connect, talking about Zoe's son and sharing a bit of their own worries. Their friendship feels like a bright spot amid all the chaos, and viewers will probably love seeing them support each other like this. But just as things feel a little calmer, there's this creeping sense of danger. Someone's lurking in the shadows as they head back to Lauren's place. It's such a classic soap setup, and you can bet this is going to kick off some proper drama. Meanwhile, over in another corner of Walford, Howie drops a proposal on Kim, and that's going to stir up even more emotions. It's safe to say next week's episodes are shaping up to be full on.
Howie pops the question in an announcement. Howie finds himself in a bit of a pickle when Patrick catches him in a compromising situation and immediately assumes he's about to propose to Kim. It's one of those awkward, heart-in-mouth moments, and you can tell Howie's got some serious thinking to do. After a chat with Alfie, he works up the courage to go for it and decides to pop the question properly. He can almost feel the nerves building. Viewers will definitely be on the edge of their seats waiting to see how Kim reacts. When the Christmas lights are switched on, Howie finally stages his proposal, and it's such a sweet moment as Kim happily says yes. But of course, it wouldn't be EastEnders if it were all smooth sailing. Anthony can't shake his suspicions about Howie, and there's this tense undercurrent between the two men, both of them clearly aware that the other is hiding something. It sets the scene perfectly for more drama to explode later. Next week's episodes are shaping up to be packed with tension, and fans will have plenty of gossip about.
The next day, Anthony decides to dig a bit deeper and starts collecting evidence on Howie, clearly determined to get to the bottom of things. When he finally confronts him, it looks like Howie might be in trouble, but of course, he's clever enough to flip the situation and suddenly Anthony's own secrets start coming to light. It's one of them tense, edge-of-your-seat moments where you're not sure who's really in control, and you can bet viewers will have plenty to say about the way Howie handles it. Meanwhile, Kim is buzzing with excitement, planning her engagement party and looking forward to celebrating with everyone. But as you might expect in Walford, things don't exactly go to plan. Freddie and Anna also have their bittersweet goodbyes with friends and family, and it's a proper mix of emotions all round. With secrets, suspicions and farewells all colliding, next week looks set to be full of drama and you can almost feel the tension building for what's coming next.
Goodbye, Freddie and Anna in EastEnders spoilers. As the Slaters say their heartfelt goodbyes to Freddie, Anna is trying to patch things up wherever she can, reaching out to Coljo, Gina and Harry in a real effort to mend fences. You can tell she's determined to leave things on a positive note, but with so much history and tension between them, it's clear it won't be easy. Then there's a chat with George about forgiveness. It's such a tender, emotional moment, and you can't help but wonder if he'll actually take her advice on board or let old grudges get in the way. It's the kind of family drama that really pulls at your heartstrings. Meanwhile, Harry is struggling to stay clean, and it's clear that temptation and old habits aren't going to make it simple for him. You can really feel the pressure mounting, and it adds another layer of tension to an already emotional farewell. With Freddie leaving and so many relationships on the line, this could really kick off more drama for the Slaters, and viewers will definitely have something to say about who manages to hold it together and who might crumble under the strain.
Harry turns to drugs. Harry's situation's getting worse by the minute, and things take a dark turn when he steals Nicola's credit card to buy drugs. You can really feel the tension building, especially as Nicola's already worried sick about Teddy's decision to plead guilty. She's trying to keep everything together, but it honestly feels like she's fighting a losing battle. When she heads to court, she leaves Harry in the care of Billy and Honey, hoping he'll stay out of trouble. But of course, he sneaks off to score more drugs. It's heartbreaking because you can see Nicola's desperation and how much pressure she's under to hold her family together while everything seems to spiral out of control. Things get even more complicated when Harry bumps into Ocky's sister Denija, who invites him to a brother's memorial. It's such a tense emotional moment because it shows he's still capable of connecting with people, even when he's making all the wrong choices. Meanwhile, Nicola's left juggling her worries and trying to keep her family intact, and you can feel the strain weighing on her. This storyline could really kick off more karma in Walford, and viewers will definitely have something to say about how far Harry can push things before it all comes crashing down.
Nicola hides her pregnancy in EastEnders spoilers. On the advice of Anna and Kojo's therapist, George decides to go with Kojo and Gina to speak to Harry, hoping they can get through to him. When they arrive, Nicola steps in and suggests they leave the three of them to it, which just adds another layer of tension. You can feel the worry in the air as everyone's trying to handle Harry without making things worse. Then there's Deja's invite to her brother's memorial, and Kojo manages to persuade Harry to go along. It's one of those moments where you really see the influence friends and family can have, and you can't help but wonder whether this could be a turning point for Harry, or if it's just going to stir up even more trouble. Meanwhile, Nicola is carrying a huge secret and is clearly struggling. At McClunky's, she's feeling sick but doesn't tell George that she's pregnant, and you can sense just how much pressure she's under trying to hold everything together. On top of that, Phil finds himself roped into Nigel's film, adding a bit of comic relief but also some classic Walford chaos. With tensions rising, secrets piling up, and family dynamics on edge, next week is shaping up to be full-on drama, and viewers will definitely have plenty to talk about.
Nigel and Lexi search for talent. Nigel, Julie and Lexi kick off auditions for Nigel's film, and it's chaos in the best way possible. Priya, Elaine, Callum, Harvey and Ian are all desperate to get a part, which leads to plenty of competitive energy and some awkward funny moments. Meanwhile, Lexi is doing her best to rope Billy in to convince Phil to get involved too, and you can tell she's determined to make it happen. The big question hanging over the whole thing is whether Phil will actually say yes. Knowing him, he'll probably cause a bit of a scene before agreeing, and viewers will definitely have something to chat about over this one. On the sidelines, Ian decides to offer Lauren a bit of advice, and it's clear he's trying to steer her in the right direction. Whether she takes it on board or not remains to be seen, but it adds another layer to all the drama around the auditions. With ambitions clashing, nerves running high, and Phil looming as the wild card, this storyline has the perfect mix of comedy and tension. It's the kind of episode that could really kick off some memorable moments for Walford fans.
Lauren adds a secret in EastEnders spoilers. Things get tense when Peter catches Lauren and Ian having a secret conversation, and you can tell immediately that is suspicious. Lauren does her best to brush it off and hide what they were actually talking about, but the look on Peter's face says it all. He knows something's going on. It's one of those classic soap moments where you can feel the tension crackling, and you can't help but wonder how long Lauren will be able to keep a secret before it all comes out. Meanwhile, Ian seems completely aware of the risk, but he doesn't let it show, which only makes the situation more charged. You can practically feel the nerves building as Peter starts to put the pieces together, and it's easy to imagine viewers already speculating about what might happen next. This little secret could really kick off some drama, and it's the kind of storyline that keeps everyone glued to the screen, waiting for the inevitable confrontation.
Lily's worried about Jean. After everything that's been going on, Lily can't help but worry about Jean and ends up pleading with her to finally seek some medical help. You can really feel the concern in Lily's voice. She's desperate for Jean to take care of herself, but of course Jean can be stubborn. It's one of those heart-tugging moments where you see the strain of family life weighing heavily on both of them, and viewers will definitely sympathise with Lily's frustration and worry. At the same time, there's this tension in the air because you know Jean isn't likely to make things easy. A reluctance could create all kinds of drama, especially if her health issues start to affect the people around her. This storyline has that perfect mix of emotion and family conflict, and it's the sort of situation where one wrong move could really kick off more trouble for the Slaters. Fans will definitely have something to talk about as they watch how this unfolds.